Hey everyone, this is Video Game Lover here, and we are going to build a Sega Game Gear collection with just $100. Let's get right into it. So a while back I did a response to Megadan29 about building a PS2 collection with just $100. I decided, why not we do one involving the Sega Game Gear, because I love the Sega Game Gear. And I want to tell you something. Building a Game Gear collection is really easy. You can find a lot of these games really cheap because of, some stores may have them lying around for a while and they'll just discount them. That's how I found a lot of these Game Gear games a few years back. Another reason is because the Game Gears is not really all that popular. It's not a fan favorite, handheld. However, though, we are going to use price charting. But some games you can find a little bit cheaper than what price charting is saying. So, without further ado, let's begin. Let's start off with Deep Duck Trouble from the Sega Game Gear. This is another Donald Duck game for the Game Gear, and I believe that this game goes for about roughly $10. So you can find this game pretty cheap. I got mine for like $7, and it was complete. But now it's going a little bit up in price, but it's still a very cheap game. So be on the lookout for that game. The next one is Super Columns. I think this is better than the original Columns. There's actually a legit story mode. And this game you can find for like $2 at the very least. It says $5, but trust me, I could get this for like $3 at the lowest. So it's a fun one. Next up, we have a really cool Batman game. Batman Returns for the Game Gear. This can go for about $10 as well. I was able to pay my copy for $5. But this is a really cool game. It's made by the people that did Shinobi, and it's kind of like Shinobi meets Batman. It's a really good side-scroller for the Game Gear, and one I highly recommend. This is a really good game. Next up, of course, we gotta have Sonic games, and we're gonna add Sonic Chaos and Sonic Triple Trouble. Sonic Chaos is the cheaper one. I see this go for about $8 to $9. However, Triple Trouble has went up in price a little bit, but it still goes for about $12 to $13. So about $20 for these two really good and solid Sonic games for the Game Gear, especially Triple Trouble. This is a really good one. So these are really good games for the Game Gear. Alrighty, so next up we got another double, and it's the two Power Ranger games. Power Rangers and Power Rangers the movie. For the longest time, you could get both of these games for like $5 to $6, but now this game is still cheap because this sold a lot of copies for the Game Gear. You could get this one for about $8, and then Power Rangers the movie like about $10. So you're looking at $18 for these two games. These are really fun fighting games, or kind of beat 'em up like games. These are really good games. Even if you're not a fan of Power Rangers, I still recommend. Okay, they're slipping off of me. I still recommend buying these two games. They're really, really good. Alright, next up we have Jurassic Park for the Game Gear. This game is actually a lot different than the Genesis version, and it's a side-scrolling game, a lot of fun. A lot of fun on this game. This game is really cheap. You could get this for like $6 to $8. This is a really fun game. There is Lost World Jurassic Park, which is a really good game, but it's over $60 now. I'm glad that I got it for $30. Alright, next up we have Mortal Kombat 2. This is kind of an optional one if you really want Mortal Kombat 2 on the Game Gear, but this is a very impressive port for the Game Gear. It's very, very colorful, plays really well. You can get this for about $10 to $11 to $12 on your local game store. This is a good game. I love Mortal Kombat 2. And last but not least, we have Psychic World. It's another side-scroller, one of the earliest Sega Game Gear games, and this goes for about, I think 13 to $14. I've seen this game go for. But you can get it a little bit cheaper though. But this is a really fun side-scrolling game. It's really challenging though, but it's still a good one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 10. So 10 Game Gear games for about 100. And there's a few that I wanted to add, but we're going to go over 100. We have NBA Jam Tournament Edition. The reason I put this is because you can find this game for like $1. You know, but the reason I didn't include this is some stores will sell it for like 5 or 10. But trust me, you can find this game for $1. I paid my copy a long time ago for only $1. We have T2, the arcade game. This is actually a really impressive port for the Game Gear. Much better than the Game Boy version. Very colorful. It's a solid port, and you can get this for like $8 to $10. And of course, I gotta include this Primal Rage, which I really like. And you can get this for like $12 to $15. So yeah, those are the Game Gear games I recommend picking up if you want to build a Game Gear collection under $100. I know I kind of went a little over 100, but it is what it is, man. The Game Gear is a really fun system. I highly recommend getting it. But the problem is you're going to end up spending a lot for a Game Gear nowadays, because a lot of people have been recapping these systems because the Game Gear was known of having failing capacitors. So you're going to end up having to pay a lot for a refurbished Game Gear. But anyways, and here's Lost World, the game that I was talking about. It's a fun game, but it's really expensive nowadays. It was one of the last Game Gear games. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. This video game 158. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.